All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story, extremely interesting. Julius Maddox unofficially breaking his current raw bench press world record in the gym yesterday. That's right, Julius's current world record stands at 770 pounds or 349 kgs for the raw bench press world record. And yesterday, in an Instagram video in the gym, he bench pressed 771 pounds, breaking his own record by just 1 pound. Now, I think the significance of this lift is twofold. The first being the fact that he broke his own world record, but the second being that he's leading up to his 800-pound attempt. He already attempted 800 pounds in June of last year, and due to a misload, I believe that's the reason why he inevitably failed that lift. But he's also prepping for a meet here in February, which apparently is not going to be the 800-pound attempt. Someone asked Julius on his Instagram story in a Q&A session that he was doing when he would be attempting the 800 pounds, if and when. And Julius confirmed he will be going for 800 this year in 2021, and he says June will be the official month that he will be pursuing that 800 pounds. So I think it's interesting that he's doing a meet in February, and in training in the gym, he's breaking his own world record. Typically, a powerlifter of Julius's caliber, they would be peaking at the meet. Their third attempt or their fourth attempt in some cases would be their all-time PR. So for Julius to beat his previous world record in training a month before his next meet and 4 to potentially 5 months out from his 800-pound attempt is absolutely ridiculously insane. So at this point, Julius is within 29 pounds of 800 on the bench. And as always, give this video a thumbs up if you believe Julius will crack the 800-pound threshold on the raw bench press this year in 2021. I, for one, I'm a believer. Now, this week has proven to be a pretty big week for bench press news because also there was another bench press world record set this week in the Revolution Powerlifting Syndicate organization. This happened at Attila's Gym in Belmar, New Jersey. And this is an interesting one. So Jimmy Kolb, he bench pressed 1,050 pounds, 476 kilograms on his third attempt and received 3 white lights for that bench press, making this, in his words, the all-time heaviest 308-pound, that's his weight class, single-ply bench press in history and the heaviest single-ply bench press ever done. Now, he showed this lift from multiple angles on his Instagram page. I believe it was from the front, from the back, and from the side. And if you don't know what single ply means, there's a category in powerlifting known as equipped powerlifting where you wear, for example, a bench press shirt that might add 100, 200, 300 pounds to your bench press. You compete with that shirt on, you're competing in the equipped division. Now there's different levels. For example, the shirt, there's single ply, double ply. Obviously the double ply is going to give you a little bit more of an advantage, so there's a separate category for that. And then of course you have the raw bench press. For example, Julius Maddox, no assistance, no special shirts, nothing like that, just a raw, regular bench press. That's the category that we see Julius competing in. Now, I also thought it was interesting that in his caption, he also says, Jimmy that is, he also says 1,050 pounds single ply and drug-free, which makes this even more impressive if that is in fact true. So certainly an impressive week for the bench press. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about both Julius's bench press and Jimmy's bench press. Congratulations to both guys on the extremely impressive lifts. 2021 in powerlifting news starting out with a bang. So next up in the news, let's get to some physique updates here. And I want to start out with a classic physique update from Steve Laureus. So Steve Laureus we have not seen since he appeared at the 2020 Classic Physique Arnold Classic, where he took a top 3 placing at that show. He chose to skip this year's Olympia and has spent the rest of 2020 and so far into 2021 focused on putting on a little bit of extra size. In this recent physique update, I think you can certainly see that Steve has added some size to his physique, and he's definitely a guy that I'm on the lookout for in classic physique for the next year. I expect to see some big things from Steve, and Steve is a guy that even before he turned pro had a lot of hype and a lot of potential, and pretty much as soon as he did turn pro, he started utilizing that potential and placing well at a lot of these shows. He's got a fantastic structure. I think early on, one of the criticisms of Steve had been his conditioning, and then later on, as his conditioning improved, I think the main criticism became that he needed to fill out his frame a little bit more to be more successful in that division, put on a little bit more size. He looked a little bit thin in some of the poses. So in this picture, he's hitting this unique pose. But I wanted to go over to this picture that Steve posted a couple days ago. Actually, it was about a week ago now. This front double bicep, I think in this shot, you can clearly see the width of Steve's upper body, the size of his arms. He's definitely put on some significant size during this offseason. So hopefully, when he cuts down for whatever show he intends on doing in 2021, we see a bigger version of Steve. And I think based on the updates that we've seen so far, there is some added size there. So shout out to Big Steve Laureus. Now, next up in the news, an update from Brandon Curry. So Brandon Curry, if you guys didn't know, you might want to check out his channel, Brandon Curry All Access. He posts videos on there, I think like every couple days. Not every day, but he posts some pretty good updates on there. And recently he posted a video on what his game plan is to face Big Ramy at the 2021 Mr. Olympia. So let me roll part of that video for you guys right here.
But we'll play the game that we probably, of course, we think it's going to be a size game for 2021 because, of course, Big Ramy is the biggest guy on stage. But what that means for me is that I won't have to focus on coming in as I would have beat Phil Heath with the conditioning factor, because Phil Heath is, it's all about, the shape of the muscle, the graininess, the condition. Big Ramy, in order to compare well against him, I think I have to be a little bit fuller. I can't dive down as much because I got to keep the fullness in the quads, fullness in the legs, fullness throughout. So I got to have that pop and that roundness. Of course, we're still going to bring the conditioning to the stage, but the goal was to put on some more lean muscle mass this year and bring it to the stage to compare well against Big Ramy.
So essentially, he says that he was prepping in 2020 to face Phil Heath again. I don't think anybody was really expecting Big Ramy to come in and win that show. So he says essentially he was prepping for the 2020 Mr. Olympia with the main goal being to beat Phil Heath. And to do that, he primarily focused on conditioning, but he acknowledges in this video, and I think this is interesting, that Big Ramy outsized everybody. So for 2021, he's going to be focusing on coming in a little bit bigger and a little bit fuller. And I guess attempting to play the size game with Big Ramy is essentially his game plan. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Brandon. I think his conditioning was fantastic at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. But I think Brandon has also proven that he is really good at improving his physique from year to year, especially when it comes to adding on size. So if adding on some size is Brandon's goal for 2021, I think he's going to do it effectively. And with the structure that Brandon has and the small waist that he has, it should be interesting to see how he carries that extra size going into the 2021 Mr. Olympia. So I think Brandon's game plan here is going to be something interesting to watch in 2021 and to see how that plays out for him at the Olympia. I think Brandon's structure, his small waist, with some added size, could be a very dangerous bodybuilder. He already is a very dangerous bodybuilder. I mean, he won the 2019 Mr. Olympia and he was runner-up to Big Ramy, and he's now added beating Phil Heath to his resume. But I guess the question is, can Brandon Curry, the king of improvements, improve again in 2021? And how far will that carry him? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Brandon Curry's odds against Big Ramy in 2021. And the final story that I have for you guys today, Hunter Labrada, a young up-and-coming bodybuilder who made some noise by winning the Tampa Pro earlier in 2020. And with a top 10 placing at this year's Mr. Olympia, Hunter Labrada posted a physique update today where he measures his arms. Personally, I think Hunter's front double bicep is one of his strongest poses because of the size and the shape of his actual bicep peaks. But he measures his arms in a video at a massive 22 inches, which is extremely large even for an IFBB pro. And it's just further fuel to the fire of the speculation about the massive potential of some of these younger guys in the IFBB right now, like Hunter Labrada, like Nick Walker. These are guys that potentially have 10, 15, 20-year careers ahead of them to improve upon the incredible physiques they already have in their mid to late 20s, some cases early 20s. So let me know what you guys think about all the stories in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.